Question: would you agree to live in a land where there truly was no religion and no law? Almost kind of like the John Lennon song, Imagine, but potentially a lot worse. A lot of people say, oh yeah, Nick, I'd be cool with no religion. Okay, but no law either. And the reason I bring this up is my epiphany a couple weeks ago was I realized that there's no way to define morality without religion and or the law. I've asked people, I said, okay, go ahead and tell me, what is morality? Tell me what a good person is versus a bad person if there is no religion and no law. And no one can come up with an answer. I've stumped everyone with that. Feel free to try in the comments to answer, and I'm open-minded to answer, but no one can define it. Because morality is relative if you don't have a law or religion. So imagine we create this land, this place in the world, no religion, no law. The only law is that there can't be religion and there can't be a law, I guess is what we could say. Would you choose to live there? Because here's what that means. It means, I guess like on the Purge movies, I've never seen them, but if you wanted to go murder people, if you wanted to go rob and destroy, whatever you want to do in this land, there is no law, so you can do anything. Now, granted, the free market would take place, and ultimately there would be people who would appoint themselves the sheriff and make sure that certain things didn't happen. But ultimately, nothing would be illegal. So you'd always have to be watching out for what might be happening. And then at the same time, the part about no religion, here's what I would speculate. I would speculate that if this was set up, if we invented this place on earth, that missionaries would come there. You look at the history of the world, that's what happens. Missionaries end up going to all the places. They want to try to bring their faith to that place. So then imagine what happens when missionaries start sneaking in to this place with no law and no religion and kind of doing this underground black market version of it, and how that goes. I've actually heard that in China, in theory, there are more Christians living in China than there are in the United States. Because it's underground, there's no way to know that for sure. But I've heard that, and I could easily believe that, because there's going to be underground things that happen whenever there's a law against something. In the same way in America, we're still living in the time when it's the war on drugs. Even with marijuana becoming legal in many states, there's going to be that black market that's reinforced for any drugs that are illegal. That's still going to happen. So it's interesting to see how the black market would be affected if there was no law or religion, because ultimately people would bring in religion, and ultimately people would bring in law. Again, the first week of this new land, oh, yep, somebody killed somebody. So then here's Jeff over here with his sledgehammer, and he goes around killing people that kill other people, and he's now the guardian of this land. See, he's created his own law, and then other people come in as missionaries to try to bring hope to this place. So I think that ultimately, what I'm telling you is this. I believe it's impossible for there to truly exist a place with no law and no religion. There's been many countries who've tried to have no religion, but there are still people who, I think probably anywhere, who ended up believing in the Christian faith in places where there was a law against religion. And you really can't have no law, because even, I already said, the only law would be that there's no law, so there's the law. People are going to break the law, and people are going to have their religion. It's impossible. That's what I theorize would happen. But I want to know what you think about it. And ultimately, would you want to live in a place where there was no religion and no law? Does that sound like some kind of paradise for you, or does it sound like destruction and despair? I think this is a very interesting topic. I want to know what you think right here in the comments.